in this state for many, many years. One of the players in the hemp, that's right, legalize. In the hemp wars, in the pot wars, in the drug wars. We have prisons filled with young men and women that are the victims of our wars. In Indiana, we spend, $16 billion a year on our budget. About $1 billion of that goes to the detention centers in Indiana. $1 billion. They've already admitted that over 40% of the people locked up in Indiana are in there for pot crimes. 40%. 40% of $1 billion, $400 million of our money going to lock us up. Now, I don't have a problem, well, a little bit, with paying my taxes, but I have a problem when they use my money to lock my friends, my family, myself up. That's not what's supposed to happen. Our government is supposed to protect us. I don't think a plant is hurting anyone. I've heard a few people stand up here and say, I don't think I've heard of any time a marijuana plant killed anyone. There might have been, but I know so many more ways than a plant to hurt yourself. In our system, do we really believe that we're keeping ourselves safer by putting so many people in prison, by spending our dollars? I've been working for 25 plus years trying to show how if we take those same dollars and empower ourselves, let's go for at least the decriminalization. Why are we putting ourselves in prison? It's you guys that are going to be able to change the law. Our politicians will, sooner or later, listen to us if we stand up and yell loud enough. It is not their place to protect us from ourselves. My gosh, the government cannot protect us from everything. We don't want them to. I thought we lived in a free society. If we live in a free society and I want to pick a plant that's growing there and put it in my mouth and eat it, I should be able to. It's just a plant. You saw me stand up in the debates against Mike Pence and John Gregg saying it's just a plant. In the United States, we spend hundreds of billions of dollars bringing hemp products into the United States. Can't produce any in the United States. You look at the history of Indiana. You look at the ditches along the country roads. You'll see ditchweed, rope dope, hemp growing wild. The cops know where it is. They watch the kids that pick it and then throw them in jail. I think they should let them smoke it and cop the headache and realize it's not smoking pot. In Indiana, when we were on the big land grab, one of the 4 crops that you signed up to grow, corn, soybeans, wheat, hemp. Our Constitution is written on hemp paper. We used to clothe our military in hemp clothing. We used to run our diesel engines on hemp ethanol. We start looking at the release of information coming out of World War II. Hemp is a great ethanol. 100 gallons per acre per harvest. Corn gives you 5 gallons, and it takes more energy to produce it than it does to give back. And we're burning our food supply. Indiana has a growing crop that would support 3 harvests a year. We've heard a little bit from Indiana farmers already today. What farmer wouldn't want 3 harvests a year? I don't want, and I've already seen the start of it, and you guys keep an eye. They're already starting to talk about bringing hemp in, but they're talking about selling it at $1 a seed through the government. I'm sorry, but a bale of seeds shouldn't cost more than a few bucks. They're just seeds. On one plant, you get thousands if you don't pay attention. Being able to go back and look what we've done as a society. We've given ourselves hemp. We've given ourselves pot. We've got the letters from George Washington talking about his crop. And he's not talking about anything else but what he's smoking. We've had governors, mayors, presidents that have admitted to having shoeboxes full of pot in their dorm room. We've got a sitting president right now that smoking pot was one of the lesser that he did. He's our president. Bush already admitted to being a coke freak. Pot. If we want to change society, we have to start showing all of us the dollars spent, misspent, hundreds of millions of dollars just in this state, and it's our money locking us up, locking our children up. If we want to stop that, we have that ability, but we have to vote. We have to register. We have to bond together. We have to be willing to stand up and say, I'm for legalization. I'm for decriminalization. I'm for changing society. I don't want to see the prisons growing. The number 5 generator in our gross domestic product across the country is the detention center. Trillions of dollars are changed hands. It's our tax dollars. Trillions of dollars to lock us up. We heard somebody talking about the privatization of our prisons. When we privatize the services of our prisons, when we guarantee, we had in our campaign a contract from Pendleton guaranteeing a 95% capacity in our prisons for the next 10 years. How can we do that if we don't know what's going to happen? Well, yes, we do. We're going to be putting people in jail. That's got to change. It's our lives, it's our world, it's our country. It's just a plant. I hope the neighborhood hears. It's just a plant. If we want to actually change society, we will embrace that plant. Like I say, hundreds of billions, a few $100 billion in income for hemp products. We're standing right here in a land that is full of limestone, Indiana limestone. You start grinding Indiana limestone, mixing it with hemp, the hemp fibers, putting it in a bag with a few other chemicals, and selling hempcrete. You would be worldwide in the factories. Every factory in this community would be up and running. Every worker that wanted to work would have a job. We wouldn't have to be holding our hands out. We'd be taking care of ourselves, and we can do it with a plant. It's just a plant. In World War II, if we wouldn't have let cotton, oil, and timber control our government, we would have hemp right now. In World War II, it helped us win the war. Every diesel engine was switched over to hemp diesel. Every soldier was clothed in hemp clothing, every document written on hemp paper. At the end of the war, the government squashed that. It would have put cotton, oil, and timber out of business. And what happens when you have a government that's tied to oil, that relies on the backing of cotton, oil, and timber to create their own agendas? Not ours, not to help us, to put money in elite pockets. If we want to change this world, we will embrace hemp, we will embrace pot, we will embrace marijuana. It will not be a bad term, it'll be a good term. The medical, the financial, the economic, the lives saved by the plant would be outrageous, immense. I want to say I'm willing to stand up and show the world we need to change. Unfortunately, there's not 1,000 people out here, but everyone out here, go home and talk about what we're talking about here. Go home and spread that online. Go home and do that research. Any of the facts that you've heard me say, I can't believe them myself. We do the due diligence, the fact checking. Every fact that I have spoken is less than what is really true. It is 43, 44% in our system. Hundreds of millions of dollars we spend locking our people up. I want to change it. We need everyone to change it. It's going to be not only the millennials, but even the boomers that stand up and say, enough is enough. The drug war is disgusting and it doesn't work. Putting our people in prison for smoking a plant is insane, and it's going to bankrupt us. We save the prison for the violent offender, and we keep the cool little pot smokers working. I want to thank you guys very, very much for including me. Yes, I was on Survivor, and we had a whole lot of stories out there. I found no pot, but it's amazing how a banana leaf smokes. You guys have a wonderful night. Rupert'sKids.org is how you get a hold of me. Email me.
I will.
Thank you.